Some of the areas that Idaho wanted to relocate the beavers to were so remote that there were no roads to get them there, so they came up with a novel solution. Idaho Fish and Game used surplus parachutes from World War II to drop the beavers into their new homes.
Welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast, coming at you from the local 218 studios. I am Mayor Dave Badeaux of the city of Brainerd, and with me, as always, is my brother.
I got nothing, man.
You have nothing to say. Hey, Gabriel Johnson, how are you?
I'm well, Dave. How are you?
It looked like Scott had something to say, but I don't care. What do you got going on over there?
Oh, not much. Pot's legal now, so
Yeah.
we got that going for us.
Yeah, I said this last night. I just spent a week at the Crow Wing County Fair here in Minnesota, and day one, which was the first day that pot was legal, people are walking around with pot plants that they were able to buy, and these pot plants were a good 2 feet tall.
They were not 1 day old.
So somebody pulled in with a nice molester van full of pot plants.
That's great.
Yeah. That's it. Let's hold on. Let's go with this too. So during our park board meeting, we had a conversation about whether or not we're going to allow smoking of pot in parks and whether or not there's a difference between consuming edibles and that sort of thing. I made an off-the-cuff remark about how there's a big difference between popping an edible and hitting a gravity bong, in our local parks. And sure as shit, they put it in the paper.
Made the paper. Yeah.
But to be fair, right? Big fucking difference.
There is a big difference.
Even between just toking on like a 1-y and literally pulling out the Shasta 3-liter and hitting it off the hood of your car.
Yeah, when it came to council, Dave had the gravity bong quote. I just said, I hear marijuana can be stinky.
I've heard.
I don't know, but maybe we don't want that in the parks.
Yeah, Gabe, I hear maybe there's a smell attached to it. I was like, quit hitting the fucking bong off your hood. Anyways, hey, welcome back to the podcast, the one, the only Justin Goebel.
Well, see you later.
How's it going, bud?
It's going awesome. Actually, it ain't even winter yet.
No, I take a half day today to come in here to be with you boys.
Yeah, but it also has been a while.
It's been a while.
You ready to hit the news?
Yeah, I want to say one thing. Street Fest last week.
Oh, yeah, Street Fest.
Dude, I had a blast.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I don't spend much time downtown. Okay, or haven't for a while because it's kind of been whatever,
Yep.
It's turning around down there.
Yeah, it's beautiful downtown.
Our city council and our mayor of this town, they're doing something, I think.
Well, we're doing a lot of things.
Yeah, it's actually a good time. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good music, good people.
Were you there for Wicked Garden?
I was both nights. Yeah. I did see you the first night for 30 seconds as you ran by me running away from something.
Yeah, well, going home at 10 o'clock.
That's what I heard.
The kids,
I saw the mayor after that in his pump shoes, his Reebok pumps.
Ooh,
awesome.
Let's talk about
Awesome.
that. Let's talk about that for a second. I'm a man. I don't splurge on many things. I don't spend a lot of money. I probably spend about $1,000 on myself every year total, from top to bottom. But I do like every summer to buy a nice pair of shoes, and I like to buy them for Street Fest. I like to show up at Street Fest with the new pair of kicks. This year, it was the Reebok pumps, the actual old school pump. Fantastic. Bright ass white, bright ass safety yellow and orange. A beautiful shoe.
Big laces in it.
So I did upgrade. I upgraded to a brighter shoelace to get the whole package in there. But
You had it down.
I will say this though, okay? Somebody asked like, do you feel like you can jump higher in those? Absolutely not.
They
Those
probably
things-
weigh 30 pounds.
Those are ski boots from 1983. Those things weigh at least 14 pounds a piece. So.
The way you're running around through the crowd there, it seemed like they were working pretty good. You're agile, at least.
I'm shifty. Yeah. All right. Don't tell Scotty he does the news.
Our bears are real. A Chinese zoo says, denying that they are humans in disguise.
Oh.
I saw this, and they're totally humans in disguise.
A zoo in eastern China is denying suggestions some of its bears might be people in costumes after photos of the animals standing like humans circulated online. The sun bears from Malaysia are smaller than other bears and look different, but are the real thing, the zoo said Monday on its social media account. On a sign, it says, "Some people think I stand like a person. It seems you don't understand me very well. Yeah.
I feel like this is pretty easy to
Combative.
prove. Pretty easy to prove this.
Are you going to get in there
Yeah.
Well, send someone in there.
with a bear?
It's a person.
That's
claim
a
it-
gamble.
Someone claims it's a
Yeah.
person, send them in there. I think it's a person, I'll go in.
Yeah. Oh, you think it's yeah? Go ahead.
Well, if I'm not
Check it out.
convinced, either that or I'll shut my mouth.
I got a better move. Bring your own bear. Put the bear in there and see what happens.
There you go.
See how those
See if the
people
person
respond.
runs. If the other bear runs out,
I think you're gonna find out real quick whether or not that's a real bear. It's a good move though. I actually like this. This is a clever move.
Yeah. I mean, there's some pictures that looks like a bear.
Okay.
This other one sure looks like a baggy costume of sorts.
That is absolutely a costume.
Well, you got to wonder too, because typically when you're doing multiple costumes, the first one starts out really well. You put a lot of time and effort and money into the first costume. By the time you get to costume 3 or 4, not so much.
Yeah, you start cutting some corners.
Yeah. That's I actually like it. What other animals would you like to see someone pretend to be an actual
kangaroo.
animal? Kangaroo's a good one, but that's you just got to get a jacked dude and put a pouch on him.
I saw in Palestine once they painted stripes on the donkeys and called them zebras.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's an easy extra exhibit right there.
I don't even think that should be a problem. If you're out there and if you're in your life able to discern between a zebra and a donkey from a distance, we got questions about what's going on here. Justin, what do you got? What animal would you like to see in a costume?
like a human in an animal costume,
Yeah.
trying to pass off for real.
Yeah.
Maybe a hippopotamus, maybe.
Hippopotamus is a good one.
How many humans would that take?
It might take a couple. If you get hot in there.
These rhinos.
That's
But you also can be in the
Ventura
water. You
stuff.
can be in the water.
You get to be in the water.
So
Yeah, I love the fact that hippos are like the most vicious animal that's out there. That to me is crazy.
Yeah.
or how about not to cut you off, but how about a panda bear?
Yeah,
It has to be a small human.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, these sun bears are quite small.
Are they?
Yeah, they're the size of large dogs, standing
Oh.
at most 1.3
Sure.
meters tall on their hind legs.
So it takes a certain kind of person to.
Certain
Dress
size
up.
person.
I hear.
I'm not
hear
saying
you.
anything. It's not a child, but it's.
I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to say, how dare you try to take these occupations away from people
Yes.
of fair stature?
Yeah, they all got kicked out of Spain.
Right.
Where are they going to work now?
Was it the matadors?
Yeah.
I'm with them. I'm with them.
I stand tall with the matadors.
Side by side. All right, yeah.
Yeah, other Chinese zoos have been accused of trying to pass off dogs dyed to look like wolves or African cats, and donkeys painted to look like zebras.
Yep, that's a good one. I think the dog as a wolf, you know, all they do is just lay there, right? The last zoo I was at that had wolves, they had the wolf den, and all you could see was just two like piercing eyes from the darkness.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was
Holy
awesome.
shit, look at that
It
thing.
was awesome, but I wasn't going like, nah, that ain't a wolf.
It's a
Nope.
dog in a costume.
It's just a dude with two lights.
Those are marbles.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a thing. And in related news,
Next.
a man who spent $14,000 to transform himself into collie
Yes.
steps out for first ever walk in public.
I'm glad they fixed the headline because when I first saw this, it said he transformed himself into a border collie.
Yes.
I'm like, that's no fucking border collie. Not even considering that there was a man in a collie costume.
Like a literal transformation. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yes, a Japanese native has transformed himself into a canine after forking out more than $14,000 for a custom-made collie costume.
Wow.
The private citizen, who goes only by Toko online, says the unusual garment has helped actualize his dream of becoming an animal.
Right.
Footage shared to Toko's YouTube channel, where he boasts more than 32,000 subscribers, showed him clad in the costume as he frolics on a lawn, rolls on a floor, and plays fetch.
Jesus Christ.
He's got some mental
Nah,
problems.
he looked like a thick boy. I don't know how much he can frolic.
I mean, if we're being honest, it's a really fucking good. I mean, it's $14,000.
Yeah.
But I mean,
That's the costume?
that's the costume. That is
Yeah.
a man in a dog costume.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how it moves, like when it moves, so how the hair works.
How it moves is
Okay. That's
about what you think.
He's pawing at the window.
Weirdo.
It's creepy
This
as
dude
all hell.
he needs some therapy. Dude needs therapy.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it.
That's it.
That's it.
He is his own therapy
Therapist.
dog.
Now, if the guy had just came out and said like, "Hey, I want to get rich on YouTube," by all means, right?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
by all means,
with you.
I'm okay with that.
Do
But
anything stupid you want.
you fucking lifelong dream of being a goddamn fake
that thing.
dog.
You are one pathetic loser.
Oh my God.
That's a man.
It is.
That's a man.
I'm more convinced by that than the Bears.
Right? That's a very impressive.
Yeah, yeah. Wait till
Well,
version.
impressive or
Wait till
creepy?
version 3.
Yes. It is both impressive and creepy.
At least it was Japan.
The costume was created by something called Zeppet and took 40 days to create.
Seems like a pretty good turnover, actually. 40 days.
Yeah,
pretty- it's
actually,
pretty
I
good
agree.
costume.
I agree.
1.7 million views. He's almost paid for the costume.
Yeah, it just come out and say it. Don't pretend. And if you really are, if that is your lifelong dream, start over, dude. Start over.
Well, and congrats, you made it.
Now what?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like you've reached the end game, and the end game is rolling around. How many times can you paw? You got this move down, but how many times can you do this and not eventually feel unsatisfied?
When my dog does that at the window, I want to kick its ass.
Yes.
I kind of feel that way about that guy.
Yeah.
It's
Lifelong dream.
It's gonna be like the South Park episode where Cartman pretends to be a robot and then people just start trying to have sex with it. He's just gonna be at the dog park getting raped by dogs. Lame.
Not cool. Totally lame.
Quote, do you remember your dreams from when you were little?
Oh God.
You want to be a hero or a wizard? He wrote in the clip describing his life dog dream as seemingly unrealistic. I remember writing in my grade school graduation book that I wanted to be a dog and walk outside.
Okay. And
His
then
parents failed him.
yeah, and then you became 10.
Yeah.
Usually-
Then I grew up.
Well, usually what happens is you see a boob.
Right.
Or a teat.
You get the outline shape of it at least at first, and then they intrigue you enough.
Yeah. Man. I remember my childhood dreams and then boobs.
Anyway.
Done with- all right.
Yep. Those two could connect.
That's a good connection. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
We talked about this one years ago, but it is the season of the ballooning spiders in Australia again. You remember this one?
I hate Australia.
I do.
There are spiders that shoot their web out into
Yep.
the wind
Yep.
Then
and
they
then
fly
just
around.
fly away.
Butt parachute.
Sounds like my
like-
worst nightmare.
Yep.
Yeah, so just
Tell me
flying
they're big
spiders.
too. They're probably huge.
No, they're pretty small.
They're pretty small. Yeah.
Okay.
Millimeters.
Well, even that's almost worse, I guess.
Yeah, you just
Because
get millions
covered,
of them.
yeah.
Like
Covered
inside
by
your ears and
millions.
stuff. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
You definitely get
Burn
a
it
ton
down.
of those. If they were big, you'd get like one and you'd be like, whoa,
You shoot it with a 22. or
shut the
something?
door. You get a bunch of them blowing through your screen.
No thanks.
Yeah, they're tiny. They just cover the trees in your yard.
Burn it. Burn the whole yard.
So, anyways, they're back.
Yeah, that's it's that time of year again. Thought we should mention it.
Yeah,
So
gross.
everybody can get that image
Like
in their
the
heads.
swallows of Capistrano.
The what?
The blooming of the spiders. God, what the fuck? Next.
Oh, where to go? I've had this one up here forever. I feel like I talked about it. 2 arrested, suspect in Spider-Man costume still at large after BMW pursuit ends on Beltway in Maryland.
I don't think so.
No.
2 men were arrested Sunday, and 2 others were still at large, including one possibly in a Spider-Man costume.
Possibly.
After a police pursuit involving a stolen BMW stretched from Fairfax County, Virginia, into Prince George's County, Maryland.
Okay.
Is the other option that it's not a Spider-Man costume, but it is, in fact, Spider-Man?
Well,
Possibly in a costume.
there's
might
that
actually be Spider-Man.
there's that option or the option that he took off the costume and now is without costume.
Could very well be. I like the idea that there were 4 people in a vehicle. One of them had a Spider-Man costume on.
And the other 3 are just normal dudes.
The camera pans, and it's just fucking Jeff.
Gabe, you wore your Spider-Man costume again.
Stop wearing the damn costume.
We're going to Jack Cars tonight,
It's
dude.
been my lifelong dream to be Spider-Man.
Ever since
Don't
I was
hate.
8.
Don't hate on me. I can almost shoot webs. Just watch.
Those are my least favorite videos on the internet. The ones where someone like catches something and then pretends like they think they have fucking webs. Jesus Christ. There are certain things that happen on the internet that I'm just like, shut it the fuck down. If this is where we're at, is just a bunch of people pretending that they thought maybe they had shut it the fuck down. Let her fucking go. Reset.
How do we reset? I would like to
Stop
know.
creating Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
Yeah, that'd be a start.
Start recreating the Mighty Ducks and Little Big League.
Little big lead.
Would be, but like, what now? They can't call it annexation of Puerto Rico. They'd have to come up with something lame.
Yeah, Puerto Rico holding a referendum.
Yes, the People's Choice play.
Which, by the way, we mentioned that the last time. I was totally wrong about that. It was not the Carolina Panthers. It was the Washington Redskins, and they did not score a touchdown. They gained like 2 yards.
Okay.
The Washington what?
So, excuse
Yes.
me. Oh, man.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
The Washington Commander.
They're changing their name again.
They're
Don't worry.
changing- yeah.
Don't even remember it.
The
dare
Washington
you.
football team. Go back to the Washington football team. That was awesome.
I love that they just got refused their freaking whatever you call it, their trademark on it. I love that a football team spent multiple years as the football team and then said, hey, let's make this our new name. And then someone's like, nah.
The new owners come in and like, first order of business, get a new name.
Yeah, anyways. So Spider-Man's still at large.
Spider-Man's still at large.
Okay.
Possibly.
What are the
Spider-Man.
odds that he was actually trying to stop them and just didn't want to have his identity found out?
Yeah, right. So no, exactly.
Well, then he's a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well,
They caught 2 of them.
He was in the car with him.
Well, maybe he did the thing where he dropped through the sunroof.
Undercover.
Said, hey, guys.
Yeah, that could
know?
be. Maybe that's why they stopped in the first
He would have
place.
said something
He
really clever.
popped into the car.
Yes.
They freaked out and ran.
Yep.
And then so did he.
Well, yeah, he was chasing the one.
Yep.
2 got the other 2.
Okay.
Maybe he bloomed.
Yeah.
I think we solved the case.
Anyways.
Call Maryland. We'll let them know. Get him on the phone.
A woman who injected herself with a crushed up Black Widow spider in an attempt to get high had the opposite experience after ending up in a hospital.
Dude, almost killed her, huh?
Yeah.
Weird.
Go figure.
Never would have guessed
Yeah.
it.
Real high.
In an attempt to get high. Like, what
Right.
What about dying from a spider bite says, well, I bet if you just crushed it up, it's a good time.
Inject it straight into your veins.
Real good time.
Less venom if it's crushed up than if it's
Yeah.
biting you.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to licking frogs, dude? Whatever. I mean, let's go back to the old days. Lick this frog.
No, I'm pretty sure that was just happening out at freaking Sidetrack the other night. Callie went to a festival out there, and she just texts me back and says, "Just a bunch of people on acid." Sends me a photo. It's a bunch of people sitting on the grass.
Sounds like my kind of party.
Yes, and not the new kind of grass here in Minnesota. Not the county fair grass.
Nope.
Day old.
This incident actually occurred back in the 90s and saw the anonymous patient hospitalized in intensive care due to the effects of the dead spider's venom.
Yeah.
It was recorded in a 1996 edition of the Annals of Emergency Medicine and reported how the 37-year-old injected a mix of crushed up whole Black Widow spider and 10 milliliters of distilled water into her veins to try and get high.
Okay, so she diluted it,
Yes. It was retold in
but
more.
still took the whole spider
It was retold in more strange stories.
Yeah,
in the annals.
she told the doctors the intention was to get high. Instead, around an hour later, she ended up in A&E with severe muscle cramps. The cramping was concentrated in her stomach, thighs, and back. Her heart rate and blood pressure were also soaring, and she also experienced headaches, and anxiety.
Much like getting bit by a black widow.
I like the anxiety.
Yeah.
All this shit's happening.
not
Now you're
gonna-
just
You seem anxious.
Something going on with you lately?
It's like when you sit down now at the doctor and they ask you if you're suicidal. Do you feel safe at home?
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you feel safe at home?
Who is
She's sitting right there.
morphine was used to treat the woman's severe pain.
Well, that's the fucking ticket.
Exactly.
That's what she wanted.
So,
She wanted
there you
more.
go. So, yep.
Story makes sense.
Mission accomplished.
Absolutely. Way to go.
Hold on. All it takes is injecting a little spider and you get free morphine. Let's go. Yeah. That's a hell of a twist there.
And in the end, she successfully got high. Achieved her lifelong dream.
Ever since you were 10, didn't you want to get...
Good thing she never saw a boob. As a doctor, I think you gotta, once you find out that that's what she was trying to do, I think you go, you know what? Let's not.
Let's rotate Tylenol and
Yeah.
ibuprofen.
I'll rotate it.
Every 6 hours.
Too much ibuprofen is bad for the liver. Just gotta remember that.
Does it say what vein she pumped it into? Is she going straight into the arm?
line, I think.
Or is she trying to be tricky, make sure she don't get tracks going under that toe?
You know, it doesn't tell me where
She doesn't-
exactly she went.
Doesn't strike me as someone that's trying to hide her, spider
I
hide.
guess she went straight for her arm right there.
Yeah.
No. When alive, black widow spiders only bite when they feel threatened. However, when crushed up and injected, the results are dangerous, as the spider's venom is 15 times stronger than that of a rattlesnake.
Oh,
Not 15 times stronger because you crushed it up.
yeah. Well, I wasn't
But then
thinking
you got to deal with
because.
quantities too.
Yeah.
There's-
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, big difference between the spider and the snake that you can milk.
Yep.
Right?
It's a lot of venom.
Wow. I don't know. I feel like getting bit by a rattlesnake would really suck.
Yeah, it would
those are
suck.
big fucking fangs, and
Yeah.
the black widow I think would suck after.
Well, you probably wouldn't even know what happened.
No.
immediately.
My
You do that
daughter
thing.
this summer got bit by a brown recluse,
What?
and her leg
Yeah.
got fucked up. They were worried about they might lose it, but she didn't know she was bit by a spider until like 2 weeks after she was bit by it.
Where?
Right
I
behind
mean,
No, where
where was she?
area?
Not-
in central Minnesota.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
A brown.
Yep, that's what the doctor said. Looks like a brown recluse, and it got to be about that big and into her flesh, maybe 2 inches. Just
What the-
everything.
Yeah, that gives you like necrosis.
Yeah. Yep. It was bad. It was bad.
Oof, necrosis. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Necrosis.
By comparison, my nephew.
I don't know if it's a real word, but it sounds right.
I
does
think
sound
it
right.
does sound right. That's how you get it. The way you said it so definitively. That's how you get necrosis.
It has to. My nephew took a forklift to the back of his leg this summer, and it does not look as bad as the spider bite looks.
Let's hear that story. No forklift to the back
Yeah,
of his
well,
leg.
he parked it, but didn't put it in park. So when
it
he
rolled
jumped
down.
out, it just rolled into him and went right through his leg.
Right.
It stopped. The bone stopped it, but
Jesus.
Did it break the bone too?
No.
Or-
No.
Yeah, lucky then.
That's how you get necrosis.
Ugh. Not a fan of spiders. And I'm not like afraid of spiders, but I will say this: I have a personal policy. Right, spiders, go do your thing. Right.
Okay.
But if I'm hanging around and you just start getting going in front of me, like I'm in the shower or whatever, see you later, dude. That's the deal.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you start showing your face, you're gone. I'm sorry.
I hate spiders. They'll look you dead in the eye, dude, and they go straight for you.
They-
They don't give a
No, and they are all fucking assholes.
Yeah.
They want to kill you, they just can't. Every one of them wants to kill you, most of the time in your sleep,
right.
but they can't.
I love when
That's
they,
when they
like,
try the
they like
most.
half stand up.
Yeah.
And they like put their legs out at you.
Yeah.
That's the best time to stomp them
No,
out.
see you later. See you later. It is just a personal policy. I'll announce to them.
You let them know.
I'll let them know.
Okay.
You knew the rules. See you later.
Yeah, I don't mind like little ones, or like the little cellar dweller
Yeah, sure.
guys.
yeah.
That's just gonna hang out up in the corner.
Yeah, but they're up there by themselves. You do your business. And when I come around, scurry away for a little bit.
Yeah, but you get like the wolf spiders.
See you later.
Oh no! Once you start getting big,
Yeah.
Our dad lives on a lake, as we all know here, as
Yeah,
we were talking
now we
before
know.
we got started. We don't live on a lake.
No, we're not even allowed on the lake.
Out on the lake.
Nowhere on the
Yeah, we're
lake.
not even allowed to, we can't even see it.
0%.
Don't even look at it.
0%. But he has a raft, like those rafts you put out in the middle of the lake.
Oh, yeah.
And there was one of those spiders that fish. They have the one fang or the one like hook arm that they.
I don't know about the spider.
It's fucking crazy. So they'll build a web over top of the water, and then as a fish comes by, it's got like one arm that's got like a freaking
Hook on it?
it's not really a hook so much as it is like a spear.
Okay.
And you just get
And
down
it gets
there.
like how big a
my
fish, like little
skin's
minnows.
just crawling.
Yeah, and I saw one of those on there. It's like no.
Well, the thing about that is that
No.
you can swim underneath
Yes,
the raft,
and have multiple times in my life.
not underwater. Like there's
And then the
space
spider
underneath
can be-
that you can just hang out underneath there, and then you look up and there's
Yeah,
20 fucking spiders
Yep.
looking back at
and
you.
I would argue that he probably has the same policy about me putting my head in there as I have about him. Like he's like, no, fuck you.
Yep.
Yeah, he probably told you about it too.
He probably did.
Didn't listen.
No, well, he should probably get a better costume. No. All right, what do we got? You got one to bring us home? Actually, before we do, Justin had said that he has something. He has a news story for us.
Well, it's not a news story. It's a story. It's a true story.
Well, that's dumb.
And this is interesting. No, it's really cool.
Okay.
Well, that spider injection was real.
This isn't about spiders at all. but-
Okay.
all right, guys. So
Yes.
this guy named Mitch was a senior in college in Louisiana, okay? And he met this woman named Kayla. They dated for a couple years. And after they graduated, they stayed in Louisiana and moved in together while they got their careers off the ground. Okay, 2 years later, the pair got married, and almost immediately, Kayla got pregnant. At the same time, Rich's career was really starting to take off, right? Then one day he came home from work, and he noticed the lamp in the living room looked odd, okay? And it's like all kind of distorted, like and not
I think I've heard this story.
not out of place, but it was there, right? He just looked at it and thought something was up. It was kind of weird. And so anyways, he goes that night, goes in with the kids, tells them his stories and blah, 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 and goes in bed. And the next morning he got up and he couldn't stop looking at this fucking lamp. Like something was going on with this lamp that wasn't right? And so he told his wife he didn't feel good. He's going to stay home from work that day. She said, okay. For 3 days, he couldn't do nothing but stare at this lamp. It's starting to get bigger and like swirl around in the room. And then next thing you know, it's like the whole entire size of the room is all you can see is this lamp. And then all at once, like this blinding light showing up in his face, in his vision, and everything in his body just hurt. Okay, and he opens his eyes, and he notices he's got no teeth, right? And he's laying on the street next to one of the buildings at his college in Louisiana, and he looks around, and he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And this cop grabs him real quick, snatches him up, throws him in the back of the cop car, and takes off. And he's like, "What's going on? Like, where's my wife and kids? Like, where am I even at?" And the cop's like, "Man, you were just assaulted by a football player. Okay, this guy just assaulted you in the street and knocked your teeth out. I'm getting you to the hospital right now. I don't know where your wife and kids are at or anything." And then he said it all clicked in his head that everything for the last 10 years of his life,
No way.
all fake.
All imagined.
Like literally he lived
all dreamt.
10 years in the time of like he got assaulted at school, and in a split second, he lived 10 years of life.
Oh my God.
Okay. So now they get him to the
He has
hospital
this lived experience of
for 10 years. Gabe.
Yeah.
So now, when I first read this, I thought, when I first saw this, I thought, how awesome would that be? You'd get 10 years back immediately. Like all of a sudden, would you imagine all of a sudden,
you'd
boom,
lose
being
your
10 years
children.
younger? But yes, then it kicks in. Like he went through years of severe depression, like from losing his wife and his kids all at the same time.
Wow.
And he said this was a few years back. So nowadays he has trouble remembering even what they look like exactly. But his son he sees his son every once in a while, like at the corner of his eye, like somewhere, and he's trying to tell him something, but never gets the words out. And the kid's always 5 years old, perpetually 5 years old when he sees him. And so now he just lives like 10 years younger. And
So the question is, would you rather not get hit?
see, that's where I started thinking about this. Yes. So you just literally gained 10 years of life, but you lost everything you had in that 10 years.
You know,
Like, would you get kicked back to being, 35 again, but everything that's happened in those last 10 years is gone?
Do you have all the experiences and wisdom that you gained
Right.
of 10 years of life.
Or like
No, because now you got a fucking head injury. So whatever way
Right.
you had, you're like, I used to be smart. Well, here's what I will say about that, though. As a man who has been punched in the face a lot,
Ham-hocked.
ham hocked, if we will. You got to watch what you say there, buddy. Because if that's the case, and maybe I myself should probably watch what I say. Because if I'm going to be going out and having other lives because I'm getting punched in the face for saying something stupid, which I'm assuming is what happened here.
yeah. They didn't really say like why he got hit or what happened.
Yeah, football
Exactly.
players aren't just running down the street looking.
Right. There's an altercation for sure.
There's something
going on.
happened. That's crazy though. I thought you were going to say like he had something in his eye. That's where I thought it was
right.
going. Like,
And so then they did studies, like some they were talking about it. Could this even have really happened to this guy or whatever? And there's some neurologists say that yes, it's possible if you got hit at the exact right, and everything would have to be so perfectly. You have to get hit super hard that like because the way your brain views time and stuff,
Sure.
it could definitely trigger something. But 10 years to like legitimately live through that long of a. I mean, I've had a long dream before, and it seems like but
yeah,
it's wild.
yeah, multiple children as well.
Yep, two
Multiple.
kids. Yeah.
I wonder if at some point he like was hoping or like he viewed his wife last, like you're really letting yourself go. And then pow.
And I wonder what if it would have been a bad like that was all good, like everything was going good in his life for 10 years. What if it had been all like you had the worst 10 years of your life? Then you'd be super happy, like damn, dude, awesome, none of that was real. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Get to do it over.
And now I don't have teeth.
Those kids sucked anyways.
Yeah, a bit. Took all my money. And then you run into that girl that was in your head, like you see her in real life, like damn, I have to stay away from her.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Whatever you do.
Yeah, that's the thing that has to happen in that story is he has to eventually find.
The right girl that was have it actually work out.
Yeah. Well, it would never work out because
What if it happened again?
You got a
He goes
weird-
10 years into it
It's
again.
starting to sound like the movie
Groundhog
Click.
Day.
Yeah, right. So then that brought me to another thing that I was thinking a lot about lately. You heard about the Mandela effect?
Yes. Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, is it Berenstain or Berenstain Bears?
Well, it's Berenstain all day long.
Yeah.
It's
Berenstain?
Yes.
No, but it ain't.
It's not.
No, I know it's not, but it is. And I just saw one with Richard Simmons. Did he wear a headband?
No.
I don't think so.
No, Richard Simmons never had a headband.
No, he
He did have a
yeah,
headband.
he had the
Yes.
sweatband.
In my world, he had a headband.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, he had a red sweatband.
Yes, he did. But actually,
I would say he may have sometimes, and sometimes he probably didn't
So-
as well.
Mandela effect.
yes. So actually, if you look it up,
Did he wear a headband?
Were his shorts
Sometimes.
always white?
if you look it up, no, he didn't ever wear one, not a single time. But every costume of Richard Simmons, like for Halloween costume,
Sure.
has a headband with it.
I don't believe it. I don't remember him having a headband ever. So
No, he had those luscious locks.
Yeah. Well, I swore he did.
I always just remember him with really short 80s shorts, way too tan, and then bright white socks.
Yep. Right.
Bright white socks. Anyways,
There's a video. This lady swore by it so much. She's like, "I'm gonna go get my sweating in the oldies tape out."
Yeah.
She takes it out. She swears he's at the headband, and she pulls the tape out. No headband.
No, that was Jane Fonda
She had the headband.
had the headband. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about that. Waking up and it would be much better if you woke up and you weren't in a lot of pain with no teeth,
Oh, right.
having just had the shit kicked out of you. That would be a lot more fun, But yeah.
Just kind of crazy that you like to think about what your brain can do. How powerful.
Oh,
it really,
absolutely,
really could honestly do with that.
absolutely.
Yeah, you should see what happens when you're on mushrooms.
I should try that someday.
All right, Boutros, let's hit it home. Let's take us home for one last one, and let's get out of here.
Okay. Some people have a negative view of beavers.
I've always liked a good beaver.
And there's different views of beavers
Oh, yeah.
that are better than other views.
Nice beaver.
I like the side view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tear down trees and build dams that can flood the adjacent landscape. In Idaho, in the 1940s, officials rounded up beavers from populated areas and relocated them, sometimes by parachute, to remote areas such as Bow Creek. Now, nearly 70 years later, NASA satellite images show that these areas where beavers settled are lusher, greener, and more resistant to fire and drought.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
So,
What's the point?
How did they get the parachutes off?
No.
Some of the areas that Idaho wanted to relocate the beavers to were so remote that there were no roads to get them there, so they came up with a novel solution. Idaho Fish and Game used surplus parachutes from World War II to drop the beavers into their new homes.
Crazy Mike's World War II surplus.
Parachutes on beavers.
How do they get the parachute off?
Right. Did they drop a bag full of beavers to the ground and maybe hope the bag opens up when it hits?
At first, the Fish and Game people figured they could drop the beavers in woven willow boxes. Then the beavers could chew themselves to freedom upon landing.
You're gonna drop them in a box?
But as soon as they put the beavers in the boxes, they began to chew their way out.
It's got to have a thin candy shell.
You gotta sedate them.
And they didn't want a plane full of loose beavers.
Or beavers jumping out of the boxes halfway down.
Hey, hold on a second now.
Nobody wants loose beavers on the.
We're real friendly around here.
Come on.
Instead, Idaho Fish and Game designed a box that would open upon impact. They tested the box's design on one eager beaver they aptly named Geronimo. Mm-hmm. After several test drops onto a field, they were assured that the design would work. Thus, beavers rained down over Idaho. The beaver relocation project lasted until 1948. Those beavers' descendants now live in what is part of the largest protected roadless forest in the lower 48 states.
What happened to all the parachutes, though?
Yeah,
This was like nylon.
That's littering.
Yeah, that's a lot of parachutes.
Littering
And
So, give me the headline off of this then. What's the headline?
the headline is Parachuting Beavers Created a Fire-Resistant Wetland.
Oh, wow. I wish the beavers would have went back to where they came from, like y'all migrated back, just like worked their way back there.
They just marched back
Like
and
the
just
cat comes back.
handed you back your parachute. I believe you've left this.
Then they start making more dams.
How quickly does a beaver eat its way out of a box?
Evidently, really quickly. If they were said immediately.
Yeah,
Take down a pretty good sized tree in no time. So I mean,
Yeah.
a little woven box ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah. As soon as they put the beavers in the boxes, they began to chew their way out. So immediately.
You get the pilot up there flying around, beavers everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Hey, wait, and why? Why?
Relocate them.
Because the people didn't like the beavers, but some people thought maybe the beavers would like it somewhere else.
Government funded for sure. Government funded.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Ain't nobody except for
Crazy Jam.
Crazy Jim. Yeah, freaking Ursay is spending $20 million to move a freaking Shamu orca across the country. Which
He won't pay the best running back in football. He's like, wait a second, that orca needs a trip to the ocean.
it actually said I got money laying around. But has he not seen the movie Free Willy? Because did we talk about this? So the movie Free Willy is all about getting this whale and free the whale, right? Jumps over top of the thing.
Well, they were trying to kill it to collect insurance money.
They were trying to kill it. The boys like, we gotta get this.
We gotta get this out of here.
We gotta save this whale. The actual whale from the movie Free Willy was relocated after the movie. So somebody's like, this is now a famous whale. We've got to move this whale. So they spent.
So after it jumped into the ocean to swim freely for the rest of its life, they
They went and caught
recaptured
it. Yeah.
Well, that's a movie. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
How about the fin cold over? Is that real or is that just movie?
That is. Same thing happens to me. Just in captivity.
So is it real or is it just movie?
Anyway, so now listen to this,
limp.
morons. Listen. The whale spends years, like a decade, trying to get this whale ready to let it go into the ocean. They let it go in the ocean. Motherfucker dies within like 6 months.
Because they know how to live in the ocean.
They spent fucking years trying to get this whale back into the fucking ocean.
Don't free that whale.
And like 6 fucking months later, this whale dies.
What, it didn't know how to feed or what? When he got out there because it was always fed its own food?
Well, they're like
Right in
pack
captivity.
animals. Probably
Yeah.
didn't have a family or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
Gabe, look it up real quick.
I thought you were going to say that the whale opened its eyes and its teeth were missing.
It's like, I'm not a whale at all.
The last 10 years of my life,
I've
you've
been a man in a dog costume this entire time.
living in a zoo. People think I'm a bear. Take it all around. Get everything.
Yeah.
Wrap it all up.
Yeah. Right down memory lane.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
So yeah, they're thinking about parachuting bears into the wild to stop forest fires or something.
No, beavers.
I don't know. What did I say?
Bears? You said parachuting bears?
Sorry. Beavers.
Beavers.
So Kiko was flown to Iceland in 1998, and in 2002 became the first captive orca to be fully released back into the ocean. On 12 December 2003, he died of pneumonia in a bay in Norway.
Pneumonia.
Pneumonia. Spent years preparing this whale, fly it to fucking
It was 10 years. Free Willy was 93. They released him in 2002.
They flew him over there, spent years more waiting to let this fucking whale go. Motherfucker gets pneumonia.
Dead, age 27.
Hey, they tried.
The circle of life.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's good enough. Is that the end of that one, Scott?
Yeah. Yep, that's the gist of it.
The
So
more-
back in the 40s, they dropped some beavers into remote areas, and then when they were doing a controlled fire, years and years and years later,
We're like, why?
The wetness of the beavers prevented the...
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, wet beavers.
Prevented fire.
We should drop a bunch of wet beavers in Canada. They seem to have
Right?
problems.
Yeah, that'll solve all of Canada's problems. All right. Thank you to the Boutros.
Yes.
And thank you to Gabriel Johnson.
Thank you, Dave.
And thank you to Justin Goebel once again.
Thanks for having me in here, guys. It's always a good time.
It's not even winter, but you're here.
I'm here.
That means we got a couple more months before you'll probably be back.
Yep.
After you're done doing all your excavating.
Yeah, it'll be a few months.
Yeah. Stay tuned. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to get back into, what are we on, 1995? I've been watching a lot of Michael Mann, so we're going to be talking about that in 1995. If you've got something you want to hear us talk about from 1995, something that you think is funny or something that you remember from your childhood, throw that at us. That'll be happening at the end of the month. And then, we'll get a game going. I think we should do another draft, though. You guys want to do another draft? What should we draft? Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks. That's why I have you here.
Kids' foods, candy.
All right, and with that, ladies and
Soda
gentlemen,
pop.
Zoo animals.
Zoo animal costumes.
I
and
would
humans.
like. That's a good one. Animals that you think you could pull off pretending to be from a distance. Stay tuned for that.
Plus 30 feet.
And with that, we're done. Yeah, that whole freaking whale thing is great. Literally a decade, then years. So they fly it over there. They spend years longer trying to get it prepared.
It doesn't even get out of the bay.
It died like within, I think it was within 6 months.
You enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, you get a lot of joy. A lot of joy about this whale dying.
Because there is a movie.
I know, I get it.
There is a movie about a whale that you were like, we got to get that for free. Then you were like, you know what? That whale is so popular because this movie did so well.
We should probably free it.
We gotta get him free.
We got to get him free. And then you spent 10 fucking years
And millions of dollars.
and millions of dollars, and pneumonia of all goddamn things.
Yeah,
Pneumonia.
it was a learning experience.
A learning experience,
Turns
to
out,
say the least.
turns out that doesn't work.
But don't worry, Jim Irsay coming around. Fucking $20 million. We're gonna move this freaking.
So now there's another one. They want to move from what, Florida or something to somewhere else?
and that's gonna just get COVID. So what is it thinking?
Yeah, it dies when it gets to the ocean on the other side.
Of course,
Some
it does.
sharks attack it.
Yeah, well, actually, it'll be beavers.
Yeah.
Parachuting
Beavers that they
Drop 'em in Idaho.
transplanted beavers.
You won't get pneumonia.
No.